Well, hello, this is Deborah Johnson, and this Power of After show is all about building on your experience, your skills, and maximizing those for your next chapter. And over the years, you've gained far more than a job title or a paycheck. You've built a wealth of skills, resources, and experiences that become the raw material for your next and possibly the most purposeful chapter. Whether you're mid career wondering what's next, or you're ready to pivot after years in one field, those assets hold immense value, especially in a noisy world that can make experience feel overlooked. And in an era of AI and rapid technology shifts, affirming and applying the wisdom, the adaptability, and the soft skills earned over time, well, it's more important than ever. And the Power of After show, we explore how to recognize, affirm, and maximize what you've already built to create a chapter that's deeply fulfilling, sustainable, and impactful. And we remind you of some of those key principles in this show. So stay tuned. Power of After is for you at mid-career, halftime of life, helping you maximize your skills, resources, and experience. We have courses, products, and help to make this stage of your life your best and most purposeful ever. Don't miss a single article, free download, or podcast. Get all the latest at goalsforyourlife.com/newsletter. Now, let's dive into today's episode. The first path of life and career is like laying the foundation of a house. You may not see every structural beam, but they hold everything together. Well, after living in our older home for over 20 years, we upgraded plenty. But one recent challenge reminded me how easy it is to get locked out of using the skills, resources, and experiences we've already built. One of our bedrooms had an outside style lock, sealed tight from the inside. And after years of never touching the bedroom door locks, we've raised boys who were constantly in and out. We had no idea that one lock could turn into such a stubborn problem. We couldn't find the key. And we spent almost a week trying everything, picking the lock, trying to remove the handle, and even trying to drill through the doorknob, all without success. It was frustrating. So finally, after sorting through all of our keys, including my stash of mystery keys, I tried one last option, and it fit. I was so relieved. The handle just turned effortlessly, and the door opened. Well, it's hard to describe how excited I was. I realized that maximizing our skills works in the same way. We might have all the pieces and even the methods, but nothing unlocks our next chapter until we use the right key, recognizing, affirming, and applying what we've already built. And that's how we create a chapter that's deeply fulfilling, sustainable, and impactful. And so included here in this show are 5 principles that help remind us to maximize our skills and to help you answer what's next for your purposeful next chapter. So number 1, identify and leverage transferable skills. And your mid-career advantage, it begins in recognizing the skills that cross industries and roles. Your leadership, problem solving, communication, project management, and strategic thinking. And they're the building blocks that carry value far beyond the field when they were first developed. The soft skills that you possess, they can't be taken over by AI. Well, so affirm those skills. If you need to know what soft skills are, read my book, Power of After. I define some of them in there, but you can find plenty of that information online. So here's a tip. Make a running list of your skills, and then you ask yourself, where else could this skill create impact? So here's some examples of transferable skills. Leadership and team management. And these are honed From supervising teams, leading projects, or even mentoring others. If you are training others, you've got those skills. Problem solving, developed from navigating challenges. Oh, how many of us do that every day? Adapting to change and finding creative solutions. If you're a mom, oh, you do this every single day. Communication and presentation, valuable, whether in sales, education, public speaking, or consulting. Project management, applicable in nearly every industry, from nonprofits to tech to startups. Again, even if you've been a stay-at-home mom, you've done all of these things. Strategic thinking, especially, essential for guiding growth, launching new initiatives, or innovating processes. And here's a situational example. A corporate leader transitioned into consulting using her project management expertise and her leadership skills to guide startups. Skills that work just as well in a small business as they did in a Fortune 500 boardroom. That should encourage many of you. And so, number 2, maximize your existing resources. Oh, how many of us discount some of these? And by this stage, you built a network. You've earned credibility, you've developed systems, and you've created all of this intellectual property that can accelerate your next chapter. And so instead of starting from scratch, tap into your professional connections, your reputation, your learning platforms, and proven processes to open new doors. So here are some key resource categories to assess. Your professional network, colleagues, mentors, and connections you built over the years. Oh, this is a good reminder to stay connected with many of those in your network, even if you haven't touched base with them for a while. And I have colleagues that touch base with important contacts at least once a year. Oh, that's a great habit. It's actually also kept them working. Reputation and credibility. Well, your track record can open doors faster than cold introduction. A solid, positive reputation, well, it's worth quite a bit in the ability to gain referrals. I think most of you could agree with that. Systems and processes, the workflows and habits you've developed that make you even more effective. And what about learning platforms and subscriptions, these memberships or courses that you can leverage for growth? And I love this one. And these are some of your assets. Creative assets, your content, your intellectual property, or unique ideas that you've already developed, and affirm those. Now, many of those assets, they pay for themselves in the work that they generate, like books, music albums, and online courses. And even though I've done a lot of CDs and still have actual physical CDs, a lot of things are downloaded now, but they've still paid for themselves. And here's a situational example. A teacher leveraged her reputation and existing lesson plans to teach an online course platform and expanding her reach to thousands of students worldwide without having to reinvent her content from the ground up. There are so many examples of that. So 3, mine experience for patterns and strengths. Feel like a miner, like you're just digging out some of those. Your career history, it's a gold mine of insights. So look for recurring projects, challenges, and environments where you've consistently thrived. Now, these patterns, they point you toward work that aligns with your natural strengths and making your transition smoother and more impactful, and actually a lot more fun. Reflecting on these patterns and your strengths, they help to identify what you love to do and what you'd like to continue doing. And here are some reflection questions. Stop and think about some of these. It's so important to take some time to do this. What types of projects or roles, what has given me energy and that I'd loved to do? And when have I felt most confident and in control? And what challenges do I solve more easily than others? And maybe which environments bring out my best work? Make sure you get the article that comes with this. You will get all of this information so you can review it. And here's a situational example. An executive noticed her career sweet spot was always tied to launching new initiatives. Well, so she used that pattern to focus on the roles in change management and innovation, where she could repeatedly create high impact results. It became so much fun. Just take time to reevaluate those things. And many of us just zoom on to the next thing. So, four, build your foundation with strategic skill stacking. I really like this one. You don't have to abandon your past to create your future. Oh my goodness. I've had to affirm some of my skills the same way. The most powerful shifts happen when you stack new skills on top of existing expertise, just like a trainer learning digital course design or a marketer mastering AI tools. And this combination, it keeps you competitive, it keeps you credible and future ready, especially with the exponential growth of AI. So here's some examples of skill stacking, if you're wondering what that means. Well, a corporate trainer learning digital course design to expand online. He's already got the training skills, just needs to learn a little bit of the tech or hire it out. A healthcare professional adding wellness coaching credentials. That's a big one right now. Marketing director learning AI tools to lead automation strategies. Automation, that's the whole last section of my book, This Power of After. That's very, very strong. A musician, boy, here's another one, adding licensing and publishing expertise to diversify income. Boy, have I done that. And it takes time. Here's a situational example. A healthcare professional added wellness coaching to her credentials, opening a new stream of clients while still leaning on her medical background for credibility. And I have a personal friend that I call on who provides essential oil products, and also she's a nurse practitioner. She has all of that medical background, and her expertise, oh, it helps help her clients much more effectively. She's able to come from both sides. That's extremely valuable. So don't discount those. And here's number 5, turn limitations into leverage. This is a mindset. And here's perceived setbacks. Oh, how about this one? Age, industry shifts, or technology gaps. Well, those can be reframed into advantages. And so experience brings wisdom, adaptability, and it brings resilience, and learning new tools. It signals just that relevance. And so when you design your next chapter around your why, your purpose, you create work that's purposeful, profitable, and sustainable. And I've written quite a bit about this in my book, Power of After, where age can also be a huge advantage. And that's a worldview that's important to embrace. It's not just all about the young society. It is important to affirm the ages of where we're at and our experience. And so here's our mindsets to affirm: our age, our experience. You've seen cycles, you've seen trends, you've seen challenges before, and that wisdom has value. Affirm that. Industry shifts, oh, and the adaptability, having to navigate change. Wow. How often have we done that? It proves that you can do it again. Technology gaps, fresh learning new tools. Well, it shows resilience and forward thinking. And here's a situational example. A nonprofit founder used her age and long career history as a selling point, demonstrating stability and perspective to donors, which helped her organization grow faster than expected. She knew what she was talking about with confidence. So what does your next purposeful chapter really hold? Well, a purposeful next chapter doesn't just happen by chance. It's intentionally designed by aligning your skills, your resources, and experience with a vision that excites and motivates you. It should be fun. And it's not too early to start on this. It still takes work, but start by clarifying your why, whether it's freedom, impact, challenge, or a legacy that you desire. And define your ideal role or project with specificity. And you know the type of work, the audience, and the impact that you want to create. So map those assets that you already have, from skills to connections, and identify the gaps that you need to fill through learning, through building or networking, and then commit to taking those small, consistent steps forward, because Lasting progress comes from steady action, not just from this big burst of inspiration. The first half of your life has been about building careers, families, reputations, network. I've been there. And the next chapter is all about maximizing. And so when you take inventory of your skills, you leverage your resources and you apply your experience with an entrepreneurial mindset, you create a future that's not only purposeful, but deeply fulfilling. And many of us can help others through this process. We have children who are entering their halftime stage faster than we even imagined. Some of you are at that stage. And the message here is that you're not starting over, you're starting from strengths. And your next chapter really can be your most impactful and rewarding yet. I have some friends who are saying, oh, my daughters are now going through this. My sons are now going through this. You can help them. You can give them some of this encouragement. Even if you are not going to do huge things, you can do some things. I talk about some of those things, of course, in my book, but there's so many creative availability in our society that they need your skills. They need your resources. They need your experience. And many times of that common sense that comes from years of being able to negotiate contracts, not just contracts, negotiating kids. There's a lot of things we negotiate through our life. So I think that is so important. Thank you so much for listening and following along with this very, very important message of today's show. I love being here with you every single week. And sometimes we even do some extra bonus episodes. So make sure you check into that and that you check in with the article that comes with this. All of the links will be in the episode. And also make sure you're getting our newsletter, goalsforyourlife.com/newsletter. We have some other websites, Deborah Johnson Speaker, DJ Works Music. People love those. But I will look forward to being with you all next time. And thanks again for joining me. Bye-bye for now. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. I love bringing you insights to help you maximize your skills, resources, and experience at mid-career and beyond so that you can make your next chapter your most impactful and purposeful yet. I'm Deborah Johnson, and I can't wait to be with you again next time on the Power of After show.